Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to probably what is the most exciting classical chess tournament that exists in the world of chess, which is why we get it very rarely, the World Cup, a massive knockout tournament. Some of the best players of their country are invited to play in bracket style. The top two of every World Cup make it to the candidates tournament, which determines, the winner of that tournament determines who plays against the world champion. But strangely, in this edition, Fabiano Caruana is playing, and he's an auto qualification to the candidates because he lost the last world championship, and so is Magnus Carlsen. So you are more than welcome to discuss in the comments what you think about that. I'm also filling out my room a little bit. We have a lot of games every day. So here's the plan. I am going to take you through the most exciting games of the day. And once again, I apologize for the echo. There are 5 of them. This one might be the game of the century. And you tell me in the comments if there's anything I missed, if there's a matchup you'd like me to focus on, etc., etc. Okay, game number 1. This is between Mads Andersen and Pablo Salinas Herrera. Mads Andersen is from Denmark, and I believe Salinas Herrera is from Chile. I really hope that is correct. Here we go. So, knight f3, d5, so classical time control. e3, knight f6, c4. Now, you'll notice that white is delaying the move d4. That is because in many of these lines, white actually wants to move order black into something advantageous. Those of you that paid attention to my classical chess tournament, you'll remember that I played this against Christopher Yu. But the thing is, if black plays the semi-Slav, which is what black is doing, there's really nothing better than going back to a queen's pawn, because the semi-Slav is very good, and if you don't, then black will play e5, and that's bad for white. So the players actually get the exact same position that Christopher Yu and I had up until this. This is actually quite hot right now. A lot of games being played here. And the question is, where does black place his rooks? And the correct answer is this, mirroring white. This is the best way to do it. Those of you who remember, Christopher Yu here, I believe, played rook fd8 against me. Rook a d8, rook e1, rook e8, and black is like, so now what, huh? So white plays bishop f1, anticipating the opening of the center of the board, and black obliges, c5. Here, there's also this move e5. I think Sam Shankland recommends this in a chessable course, and there's like super deep theory, but c5 is considered the main line. Now, up until like this moment, actually, after cd5, ed5, like this has been seen many times, including in a game Giri Carlsen from July 2020, Chessable Masters, the online thing. Here, there are 2 plans for white. Number 1 is g3 and try to put this bishop out this way to either pressure the center or the diagonal, or plan 2, take the center. White goes here, and it's funny because there is a move here that is known to be decent for black, and it's a very counterintuitive move, and it's this. And you would think, wait, why, huh? You just moved it there. How did... Well, here's the thing. White missed their chance to play dc5, because now if white does it, bishop c5 is extremely strong. And the lineup here against the queen and against this rook makes black's position very, very menacing for white. So white continues with bishop h3, black takes on d4, and it looks like white has a very decent isolated pawn position. This pawn's not moving anywhere, but black has good pressure down the c-file. Now, here, white really needs to deal with the move knight to e4, and white completely doesn't do that. White really has to play this move f3. It's kind of ugly, but it does the job, sort of like me. So knight back to e2 does not stop this, and this is annoying, actually, now, because this is under severe pressure. Here, the computer wants white to sacrifice a queen and win back this knight and actually get this bishop. And this would have been interesting. I gotta say, I don't even know whose position I like more. Black can sacrifice right back, by the way, 2 pieces, and I don't know what the heck is going on. But white attacked a bishop by playing the move a3, and a3 is not the worst move in the world, because if bishop takes a3, then you take, and if takes, there's problems for black, namely the knight is hanging, and the rooks are now hanging too. So that was white's idea. And if bishop c3, I don't know, you probably take back with something, probably the knight, and just say, okay, I won your bishop pair. However, here black put on his 19th century hat and decided to banish Mats Andersen to the Shadow Realm and regret him ever coming to Sochi. And he played the move knight takes f2. Yeah, this is devastating. And here's the problem. If you play king takes f2, then after queen takes e3, it's over. I mean, it's just completely lost because the king is going to get hunted down by the queen and the bishop. So Andersen says, well, I'm going to take your bishop. Black takes on h3, king f1, queen e3. Now black is up 2 pawns and is threatening mate in 1, which is bad. Also, that's mate in 1. Ouch. So the only way to prevent that is to play the move queen f5. So what does black do? Brings another knight to the party so that he also doesn't hang his knight. Now, this knight looks like it's hanging. It's not hanging at all because queen f3 check, king g1, and the queen needs a little bit of help. So the knight can come in, queen f2, also d4 at any moment. Anyway, I will spare you the details. This is a very ugly finish to this game, but it ended in one of the most violent fashions I have ever seen in my life. Queen to g1 check. Knight takes because it's protected by the knight, and knight takes h2 mate. Have you ever seen something like that? I mean, this is... I mean... They should bring some sort of police unit to Salinas Herrera's hotel room because, I mean, this was murder. I want to get it off the screen before I get banned from YouTube for gore. Now, the second game that I'd like to show you is the game between Abhimanyu Mishra and Badur Jabava. All eyes are on Abhimanyu. I mean, he just became the youngest grandmaster of all time. We got to see what Badur is going to play, known for a very aggressive, creative playing style. And, well, he doesn't play creative or aggressive at all. He actually goes for a very solid approach. This is known as the BOGO Indian defense, not the Bozo Indian defense. And black just plays normal moves. Castles, brings his rook to the center, shuffles with the queen, and brings the rook to reinforce. Abhimanyu clarifies the situation, develops, and this is perhaps the first kind of strange moment. Knight c6. Like, that is a weird move. It's not clear what the heck the point of this is either. Like, if white castles... Actually, let me prevent your light-scored bishop from getting out. I'm going to play h3. I don't really know what black's best move, best or even next move is. Maybe it's knight to e4. It's just a bit strange to put the knight in front of the c-pawn. And Abhimanyu tries to just, like, call the bluff on that and then go here. And Badur just hangs on to his bishop. Because here's the thing, folks. When you are a very strong player trying to beat a lower-rated player, as good as that lower-rated player might be, you are constantly searching for imbalance. I mean, it's really hard to play a chess game and win it with black without some sort of imbalance. So, boom, we have found our imbalance. We also have a little bit of an imbalance in the pawn structure, which is why you see Badur, like, trying to do stuff on the queen side. Rook d1, h6, just a waiting move, seeing what white's going to do. And white did something here. He didn't wait very long. He played f3, king h1, and g4. And that was his plan. Abhimanyu took some space and decided that he was going to go for it. And you got to respect this. He's not treating Badur like some sort of, you know, prince of chess who he has to sit back and be solid against. No, he's trying to take the initiative. Now we're going to see if it's good or not. That's the problem, is that, okay, we can respect the way you play, but will it work? f4. Now, Badur has a difficult decision what to do with the queen side. Does he take, push? I mean, like, take, push, ignore. I mean, what does he do? Plays f6. Okay, knight has been booted. And now bishop c6. Of course, anticipating the movement of this. We just saw that bishop come alive in the last game. Okay, queen f2, queen e8, knight h4. Looking for the light-scored weaknesses on the king side. b5 and c4. Badur is deciding to close it up. That's a very big decision. Essentially, the game is now going to be fought over here. The queen side is not where white is going to go. Maybe black is going to go there, but it's more likely than not. And by the way, as I say that, he played b4. Yeah, that was not a good decision. He should have played like rook g1. I mean, he should have like focused on this side of the board. The truth is that black wants to do this. White has no business fighting on the queen side, because white is completely like just I'm looking for a word, outmanned, I guess, but they're chess pieces. I don't want to assume any genders. So anyway, that was weird. So you'll notice that, yeah, Badur switches sides, And ABHIMANYU is forced to now guard the thing that he put there, right? As a little bit of a weakness. Now, bishop takes g4. Okay, that is a pawn. Rook to g1 is going to attack the bishop and then the g7 square. Okay, there's that kingside play I promised. Yes, thank you, gentlemen. A little bit late. ABHIMANYU just gave up a pawn for no reason. Totally fine. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey. There we... Okay, my prediction's coming true. Yeah. Isn't that knight trapped? Where's that knight? Okay. This is good stuff. Like doubled rooks on a g file. Rook takes g5 as a threat, so he plays g4. The best move here would have been rook f8 to defend this. And then at that point, if ABHIMANYU wants to sacrifice material, Badur says hello with his final defender, and this ain't it. This is like fighting your dad. Not gonna work unless your dad's in like a nursing home. Don't fight your dad if your dad's in a nursing home. Do I have to say that? h3. Don't fight your dad. Well, sometimes. Anyway, rook g2, rook f8. Oh, look, all of that kingside play that Gotham said was going to happen is happening. Knight e2. Badur plays g3, opening up the diagonal over here onto h3. Now, knight takes g3. Bishop takes h3. Rook sees the rook, so rook takes f8. King f8. And we have a transformation. And Badur basically says, I'm going to try to win this endgame. What do I have? One extra pawn, also a pass c pawn. Also, I'm 2600 elo, and this kid's like 12 and can barely, like, you know, sit still at his board for like 4 or 5 hours. It's actually not true. Youngest GM of all time. It's crazy. I'm assuming that's what Badur was thinking, though. So, queen f5. Queen h6. Counterplay is being created with queen and knight. Will it work? Badur looks for the vulnerability of white's king as well. And, oh, wait a minute. Whoa. Excuse me? And, this just doesn't work. Whoa. Wait a minute. If ABHIMANYU here had found the absolutely ludicrous move going back to h4, allowing a capture and coming here, the computer claims that this position is a draw. Because even though white can get a move away from mate, queen e8 check, king to g7, oops. So it's not so clear, and I'm going to walk your king down with my 3 remaining pieces. It is very tricky. The problem with the way he did it is this, and he is paralyzed. And the problem is also this king is just so safe. And at any moment, Badur can just come back and get the knight. And, well, that's what he did. ABHIMANYU just gave it to him a little bit later. The queens were forced off the board, and Badur wins with black, which makes it extremely unlikely that he will lose tomorrow with white, but we will see. We will see. And that's our second game of the day. That's exciting stuff. Now, next game. This is actually from the Women's World Championship. And I know. I've been covering videos of some of the strongest women in the world, and we've been talking about, you know, the gender split in the tournaments. I understand all that. I understand. But this is just the current environment that we're in, okay? Plus, these are the highest rated players, technically, for some of these, you know, places that are playing in the World Cup. So maybe 10, 20 years down the line, when we figure out some way to bridge this gender gap, we won't need this section. But for now, we have it. Now, with the white pieces, Aya Muataz, I think I'm saying that correctly, from Egypt, and Anna Ushanina, who's from Ukraine and like one of the strongest women ever. So this is a fun game because white is rated 2000, and I wanted to show it because it was awesome. So we have like a Catalan sort of, where white, like it's like a semi-Catalan setup with no d4. And the game gets wild quickly because white prevents b5 and then goes and wins the pawn back. The problem is that now that this pawn has landed here, like you need to, this move order is not good. Like a4 here is not good in view of knight c6 and e5. Here you should play queen a4 check and just win the pawn back right away. The super GMs are doing that. Or in this position, you can play b3, and there's some lines where you can even play like just a pawn down, but black's queen side is very passive. So black has superior knowledge in the opening and just gets a very good position. Is going for bishop b3, which traps the queen. And I mean, look at this. Look at that. Look at this wicked stuff here that's happening. I mean, that's crazy. This completely lost position for white. Black demonstrating the elite level opening preparation, and white demonstrating a slight level mismatch. Playing the opening not so great, but also not developing anything. But then a punch was thrown. Not actually. Knight takes c2 check, and it got crazy. So first of all, this rook is borderline trapped. If you play the move knight to f3, you actually lose the other knight with rook takes e3. Ouch. So rook a4. She saw rook a4. She just didn't like it. Now bishop takes h1, rook b4 is the idea. So bishop to e4, queen c1. Well, she actually did like it because she played it. Anyway, and basically what black makes the mistake of doing here is, in this position, not defending the bishop with a piece. Because they defended it in such a way that a pawn ended up on that square, and now there's no real activity. And white plays a couple of super important moves. Bishop e5, disconnecting the rook from any pressure, and then castles and knight g5. And all of a sudden, the broken army that white had comes alive. Wait a minute, what is going on? Like 6 moves ago, it was -7 for black, and black is an elite level grandmaster, and white is 2000, okay? Queen b2, h6, knight comes back, takes. Wait a minute, I like this for white. I mean, white's down material, but everything looks good. This bishop is like the GOAT. Knight f5 is coming. I mean, g4, g5 might be coming. I don't know. I'm starting to believe. That's a big problem. It's coming home. No, it's not. Rook c1. I'm so sorry. It's too soon for that. Too soon. My English viewers, I'm very sorry. Listen. King f2. Knight e8. Rook c5. Like, look at this. Everything is flowing. Rook d5 is coming with rook d8. Black at some point is going to have to do what all higher rated players do when the lower rated player is not going away. Panic. Or maybe not. Maybe some don't panic, but panic. At some point, panic is going to set in. Like, look at this. No respect for the higher rating. Sacrificing material to bring back the forces. To go rook g4, knight d5. And at this point, time is probably low. Right, it's move 34. Both players low on time because on the 40th move, you get the extra time. Now, black has a couple of defenses. The best defense here would have been c5. Because not only does it counterattack, it also doubles up the rooks. You see the rook gets help in covering the king. But black plays this move, and the idea is knight f5 would have been met with rook e2. Ouch. And for example, king to g1, you have this, and that's mate. So black must have thought knight f5. I'm the best. Not the sneeze. They just thought the other stuff. Rook d8, king f7, queen c2. Look at this. This is not over. Sound like Conor McGregor in the octagon. He says, never over. So queen f5, queen h7, knight g7. Whoa. This is unpleasant. Whoa. Hold on a minute. Now, the only way for black to survive this is to actually give up the rook. Because the king has space now. It can run, it can go out, get out a little bit. And also, if you take back, this king is wide open. And if you take with this, I mean, that's bold and brave, but it's pretty terrible after queen e6 and queen f5, and you try to trade the queen. So c5 was played, and f4 is aiming to shut down the escape of the black king. Rook e3 is again the only move, but black goes here looking for the trade of rooks, and all of a sudden, check here, check here, and the only winning move. Remember in ABHIMANYU's game, the best move was to go back to where you came from? Go back to where you came from is often seen in those videos where you expose like racists. Have you ever seen those videos? Where it's like you record a really angry person and then they say something really like racist. Well, in chess, going back to where you came from is not as bad as that thing. Queen h7 and queen g6. No one can stop it. And the craziest thing is rook takes d2 is met with the same rook. So black could for a moment be up 2 rooks and be down 1 king. And Aya Muataz has just defeated Anna Ushanina. Massive upset. Respect the hustle. Respect the aggressive playing style. Respect the disrespect the higher rated players. I love it. I love everything about it. All right, fourth game that I wanted to show you, folks. Actually, I wanted to show you this game first. This game will be pretty brief. Ravi Haria, strong international master from England. I've played Ravi many times online. I'm not sure Ravi knows that because I've played Ravi on my alternative accounts. Yeah, I have those like for training, for tournaments. Duh. But Gotham, you're not allowed to have multiple chess.com. Do you know who I am? No, but like actually, because I don't even know. Now, he's playing Zvyagintsev. Interesting thing about Zvyagintsev from Russia. Loves the French defense. I've actually used some of Vadim's ideas in the classical French. He loves this line. He loves to play takes here and bishop c5. Loves it. And I've used some of his ideas. Thanks, Vadya. So we have queen d2, a6, queen f2. And the point is that basically you just laser beam this bishop. And we have a big trade. And Zvyagintsev argues that this position is completely fine for black. And I argue that in my time of playing it, I've never hated chess more. And that shows you everything you need to know about chess playing styles. Why is it so dreary? Well, black is left with this bishop. This is the French bishop. How do you say bishop in French? I should prepare these things. Le bishop de français. I'm very sorry. Knight e2. This is a common idea by white to put the French knight, le cavalier, on d4. f6, knight d4 takes. And basically, white has an active rook and also a little bit of a pawn majority over here. I mean, not super. I mean, this one kind of cuts into it, but has an opportunity to expand on that side of the board potentially. Good pressure on h7, just a little bit more activity. Okay, so black is trying to hold this. So king d2, king moves are allowed, especially in positions when there's not a lot of pieces on the board. White brings the rook. Now black makes a, look at this, attempt to trade off the French bishop. Do you take and activate your opponent's rook? But double pawns, Gotham. Yeah, well, rook f3. You come and take me. We're trading on my terms. Rook f8, rook f1. Okay, the bishops are just having a staring contest while the rest of the board figures out what to do. And, well, Ravi Haria is going in with the next rook. Takes. Notice, you're going to notice two things about the way Ravi played this. He took once with the pawn, and he took twice with the pawn. And you say, what's so important about that? He is transforming the pawn structure into an advantageous endgame. What Ravi wants here is a situation where he can be fluid with his movement. So g6, king e3, very active. Now, rook h3. If this rook wants to be active, I'm going to go tickle the weakness. Knight f8 reserves the knight to being passive, and now I disallow the rook any entry. Rook c7, rook g3, and at some point in every position like this, there is a breaking point. You take some space, and now, folks, where's the breaking point? h4. The only piece in white's position that has not been given a turn to participate went to complain to mom and dad and got the turn to participate and immediately was given up to damage the opponent's structure, and now white can go win the pawn back. And the problem is that black has two weaknesses, and they are very annoying to defend, and it's almost impossible. You play knight to f8, I play here. a5 shuts down your queen side, b5, and I've entered. And this is bad news. Takes, king g7, knight d6. I have arrived. Every position has a breaking point. h5, king e3, knight c5, and that breaking point is now. Knight has taken the French pawn. It's been there for a while. This pawn will fall. This rook cannot stop the a-pawn. And my man, Ravi Haria, who doesn't know that he's my man, but outplays a Russian grandmaster in an endgame. King g4. Actually, Zvyagintsev played this and resigned. Because this endgame, despite 2-on-1, is a well-known victory for white. Why? Well, for example, even this is winning for white. Because this is very famous. If two pawns stand like this and the king is here, you can't take the other pawn. You can't take this one because it's illegal. But you can't take this one because this pawn runs away. And white would have walked the king over, won this pawn, and promoted. Ravi Haria, big upset. And that brings me to my last game of the day that I wanted to show you between Kaido Kulauts, I think that's how you say his name. I believe he's an Estonian grandmaster, and Sasa Martinovic from Croatia, I think? Hold on. Let me not make a fool out of myself. I'm pretty sure he's from Croatia. He is from Croatia. Outstanding. Good. I didn't make a fool out of myself. Hey, all right. So this one was also a French, and actually this one will look very similar for a while. But here Zvyagintsev played bishop c5, whereas here we had queen b6. And actually this has been seen in Champions Tour, this gambit of the b2 pawn. White allows black to take it, and we have a big explosion early. White plays rook b3, kicks out the queen. Very wild position. I really don't know why people with the black pieces play into this. I mean, this looks mildly depressing. Actually, here the players could have repeated moves, but they are not 2,700 rated grandmasters. They are 2,500 rated grandmasters. So they haven't abandoned the thought of liking the game of chess, and they don't just repeat moves for no reason. Now, both players ended up castling. White castled in 4 moves and decided to attack with all remaining energy in their being the center of the board. Takes, knight c3, and this position. Now, white is better. Why is white better? Because this pawn on d5 is exceptionally weak. And what will happen when that pawn collapses is that e7 is very weak, and then we will have opposite colored bishops, and white has 4 on 3, which means white has attacking prospects. And when the bishops are in opposite color and there are attacking prospects, the one attacking has a big advantage. Okay, all of that is happening except for the fact that black is running the bishop away from getting taken. Knight e3, rook b8, bishop a7. Now, this bishop is like really being offered for an exchange, like this. Queen a4. Black desperately clings on to both bishops. Bishop d4, bishop b5. Wait, whoa, wait. Why didn't you take? Why didn't you take? Queen c8. It's not mate, but this is hanging. Actually, it's not hanging. Wait, queen d4. Oh, maybe bishop c5. Oh, wait, how do you stop mate? Probably the only way to stop this is to play like an h move. And then like takes here and I guess takes bishop. Okay, that's very complicated. Maybe even knight f5. Oh my god. Okay, I'm like analyzing something totally outlandish. That didn't happen at all. White completely hung on to the pawn and even had a little diamond, which is very nice. And here, white just decided I've had enough of this game. Played the move knight to f5. And here's the point. Bishop to b4 pins the queen to the rook. Knight takes h6, calling the bluff. Now, folks, black has 2 options here. Take the knight. Can't take the queen. You're in check. Move your king. And then there are still 3 threats. I would have played this. This is also fine, but you need to like safely run your king away now. Bishop comes back to f8. Bishop to c5. Queen takes f4. Queen takes f8. King h7. White resigned. Wait, what? Wait. It's completely even material. White is up a point of material. Why did white resign? Well, it's because it's mate in 6 for black. This is the threat. There are no checks to black. Game is over. You could take my rook. Oh, I just go here, Gotham. I'm so smart. Yeah, no, you're not. Yeah, well, Gotham, I could like, run. You're not going to mate me in 6. Well, now I'm up a rook, and yeah, I will. So when I said white had had enough of this game, I was not joking. Here, the position is like minus 0.5. I mean, it's still very complex. White can have like f5 and do all the same stuff they did in the game without losing anything. Though I just decided knight f5 here. And you'll say, why did I even show this game between these 2 random guys? Well, not random. They're very well known in the chess world, but to just like you just started chess a year ago, you don't know who these players are. Well, folks, that brings me to what the heck are even the standings? How do I even show you the standings? Well, this is how I show you the standings. This is the FIDE World Cup website, worldcup.fide.com. Fédération Internationale d'Échecs. That's what FIDE stands for. Now, you would go to results, and these are your brackets. This helps you see everything. Now, you will notice, I think this has never happened before. I think given the pandemic and everything, they're trying out a new format. Some players were auto-seeded to the round of 64. So basically, there are buys. And I think that's just due to the lack of players because of the pandemic. So Magnus awaits the winner of this. And on the other side, you have Fabiano Caruana at the very bottom of this page, which might not even be cropped into my OBS. Oh, he's over here. Outstanding. So he could end up in the final versus Magnus Carlsen. Oh, the final's over here. Nope, the final's over here. Okay, outstanding. Anyway, this website will tell you everything you need to know. Browse through any of these players. There's many, many grandmasters you may have never heard of. And I will be your destination for an entire month of coverage. This event is like a month long. And congratulations to my man Eric Rosen, one of my closest friends, on becoming the World Cup photographer. I don't know if becoming is the right word. Like maybe he just asked and they were like, okay. There's like a total of 4 photographers in the chess world. But this is his first like big gig. And I mean, he may have had like one, but it's the World Cup. It's the biggest one by far. So congratulations to Eric. We love Eric on this channel. And that's all, folks. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I don't even know what day it is because we've had so many adventures moving in. Soon I will have a carpet. I will have some other stuff on that wall. Feel free to give me ideas in the comments. There's a random green screen over there. That's mostly for echo. And you're amazing. And if you made it this far in the video, you rock. Keep pushing. Life is awesome. You're awesome. And I will see you tomorrow.